A club can sell a player, lose him, and still cash a second check years later. One missed payday here was worth £20 million. Hayes barely had any leverage when they sold Le Ferdinand, but they kept a sell-on clause, and it paid off years later. When QPR sold him to Newcastle for £6 million, Hayes reportedly picked up £600,000. For a small club, that's not a bonus, that's a building project. This one even turned into a dispute. Mets said their clause from Saha's sale to Fulham entitled them to a cut when Manchester United paid £12.8 million, and Fulham were later ordered to pay £1.4 million. That's the sneaky part of these clauses. The player moves once, but the old paperwork keeps moving too. 50% sounds fake until it isn't. Maccabi Haifa reportedly kept half of Portsmouth's future sale, so Yakubu's £7.5 million move to Middlesbrough meant a £3.75 million payday. That's less of a clause and more of a business partner. This one's weird because Tottenham sold Defoe, then bought him back, while still holding a sell-on clause from the first deal. That clause was widely reported to be worth £4 million in the return transfer calculation. Football accounting can get very silly, very fast. This is the modern version of why lower league clubs fight for these clauses. Max Kilman's £40 million move to West Ham reportedly earned Maidenhead United about £4 million. For a non-league side, that can change training grounds, staffing, the whole place. Bournemouth got paid because they planned absurdly well, years in advance. When Southampton sold Adam Lallana to Liverpool for £25 million, Bournemouth reportedly collected £6.25 million from a 25% clause, tied to his move as a kid. That's academy admin turning into first-team money. Barnsley sold John Stones to Everton, but they didn't really let go of the upside. His £47.5 million move to Manchester City reportedly delivered about £7.1 million through the sell-on clause. For a club outside the Premier League elite, that's the kind of hit you remember for decades. At the time, this looked like one of the smartest bits of business QPR had ever done. Sterling's move from Liverpool to Manchester City for £49 million guaranteed Rangers a reported minimum of £7.8 million, and later reporting said the final windfall reached £12.25 million. Same clause, same player, and suddenly the payout is headline news on its own. Lions sold Marshall to Monaco early, but they kept a slice of the next explosion. When Manchester United bought him, Lions president said the club stood to make at least €10 million and possibly €14 million from the clause. That's a brutal reminder that selling too soon hurts a lot less if you keep the receipt. Yes, Sterling appears twice here, because the final reported payday was even bigger than the minimum first quoted. ESPN later reported QPR received £12.25 million from the clause tied to that same Manchester City move. That's the hidden jackpot angle in one line. They sold him for £600,000, then got a check 20 times that size later. And here's the one that still looks ridiculous. Southampton had a reported sell-on clause on Bale when they sold him to Tottenham, then gave it up during financial trouble. And when he joined Real Madrid for £86 million, the missed windfall was reported at something close to £20 million. That's the whole hook of this video. Sometimes the biggest sell-on payday is the one a club talked itself out of.